Hungary is a country in Central Europe bordering Slovakia to the north, Ukraine to the northeast, Romania to the east, Serbia and Croatia to the south, and Slovenia and Austria to the west. With a total size of about 93,000 square kilometers, Hungary is the world's 108th largest country and about the same size as South Korea or Portugal. Hungary's largest cities are Budapest, which is also the Hungarian capital, with about 1.7 million inhabitants. It is followed by Debrecen with about 200,000 inhabitants and Szeged with 160,000. In total, Hungary is home to over 9.7 million people, which makes Hungary a medium-sized member state of the European Union. Hungary is famous for its vibrant capital city Budapest, for its many historic buildings, for the hard-to-learn Hungarian language, for its traditional dishes like goulash and some more that we'll talk about soon, for its politics, which can be interpreted as either an upside or a downside, for its continental climate and its central location in Europe. But as we will find out soon, Hungary has much more than that to offer. 93% of the Hungarian population are ethnic Hungarians. 3.2% are ethnic Romani and 1.8% are ethnic Germans. There are many ethnic Hungarians living outside of Hungary, in Hungary's neighboring countries. 54% are Christian, 18.2% do not identify with any religion, and 20% didn't answer. Hungarian is the only official language in Hungary. I just mentioned that Hungarian is a very unique language. In fact, Hungarian is a Uralic language that is only spoken in Northern Europe and Northern Russia, as well as Hungary. Hungarian has 35 distinct cases, many of which are leftovers from the Latin language. The colors of the Hungarian flag date all the way back to the Middle Ages. Red, white and green are taken from the historical Hungarian coat of arms, which has essentially remained in the same form since the mid-15th century. It is not 100% clear what the colors stand for, but red probably symbolizes strength or the blood spilled for the fatherland, white for faithfulness or freedom, and green for hope or the Hungarian plains. It features a tricolor element, which is based upon the French flag, as a reflection of the ideas of the French Revolution. The turul is the Hungarian mythical symbol and can be found on the royal castle in Budapest, while the tulip is Hungary's national flower. In spite of the fact that Hungary is part of the European Union, people do not pay with the euro, but with the forint. Hungary has a high-income economy, a very high human development index, a skilled labor force, and the 16th lowest income inequality worldwide. Major industries include food processing, pharmaceuticals, production of motor vehicles, the IT industry, chemicals, electrical goods, and tourism. In the 1990s, Budapest has become one of Central Europe's most popular tourist destinations. But also Hungary's estimated 1,300 thermal springs, a third of which are used as spas across the country, attract tourists. In 2018, over 17 million people visited Hungary, which is almost double its population. Hungary is the largest electronics producer in Central and Eastern Europe. Electronics manufacturing and research are among the main drivers of innovation and economic growth in the country. Hungary's corporate tax rate is at just 9%, which is relatively low compared to other states of the European Union. The main export partners of Hungary are Germany, Romania and Italy, whereas the main import partners are Germany, Austria and China. Later in this video there will be an interview with Luzi, who runs a YouTube channel called Luzi Santos. Luzi moved from Brazil to Hungary, will talk about her journey and will provide useful information to anyone who is interested in moving to Hungary. If you have an idea which country I should cover next, please let me know down in the comments. This video is part of a video series that covers informative facts and the migration procedure of many countries around the globe. I've created dedicated videos for many countries worldwide. You can find the playlist linked in the video description below. But let's return to Hungary. What are the main upsides of moving to Hungary and what needs to be considered? As of the 2019 UN report, Hungary ranks 73rd among the countries with the largest foreign-born population. About 512,000 people living in Hungary were not born there but moved to this country during their lifetime. The largest foreign-born populations are the Ukrainians, followed by the Romanians, the Chinese and the Germans. But what are the main upsides of moving to Hungary? Let us begin with the Hungarian nature. The Danube and Tisza play an important role to the Hungarian nature. Hungary has three major geographic regions. The Great Alföld, lying east to the Danube River, Transdanubia, a hilly region lying west to the Danube and extending to the Austrian foothills of the Alps, and the North Hungarian mountains, which offers hilly and mountainous landscapes. Transdanubia, which stretches westwards from the center of the country towards Austria, is a primarily hilly region with some low mountains. One can also find Lake Balaton in Transdanubia, which is the largest lake in Central Europe. Its temperature is pleasantly mild. Speaking about water, the Hungarians have a great passion for spa culture. Hungarian spas feature Roman, Greek and Turkish architectural elements. Because of Hungary's location, good quality thermal water can be found in great quantities on over 80% of Hungary's territory. Approximately 1,500 thermal springs can be found, and there are about 450 public baths in Hungary. The highest point of Hungary is called Kékes and is located in Hungary's north. It ranges up to 1,014 meters above sea level. Hungary has 10 national parks, 145 minor nature reserves, and 35 landscape protection areas that are home to around 45,000 animal species and about 2,200 plant species. Another upside of Hungary is its climate. Summers are generally warm with low humidity but frequent rain showers, and cold snowy winters. Temperature extremes are at 41.9 degrees Celsius in Kiskunhalas in 2007 and at negative 35 degrees Celsius in 1940 in Miskolc-Tapolca. Sorry for the mispronunciation, by the way. Average high temperatures in the summer are at 23 degrees to 28 degrees, and average low temperatures in winters are ranging from -3 to -7 degrees. So if you prefer not only warm and sunny summers, but also cold and snowy winters, then Hungary definitely is a country for you. The next big upside is Hungary's central geographic location in Europe. Hungary borders 7 other countries: Austria, Slovakia, Ukraine, Romania, Serbia, Croatia and Slovenia. If you move to Hungary, you will have no other choice but to discover these countries for yourself. Hungary is also well connected to its neighboring countries in terms of transportation infrastructure. In particular, traveling by car is great, while traveling to other countries by train doesn't seem to be as efficient yet, especially to neighboring countries to the south and east. It takes around 2.5 hours to get to Vienna from Budapest, both by car or by train. But if you want to travel to Zagreb or Belgrade, then the car is much faster. Some people who move to Hungary see the country's conservative policies as an upside. Whether this is to be interpreted as an up or a downside is up to you to decide. As mentioned before, Budapest is an extremely popular tourist destination. It has a very wide, diversified program of cultural activities. There are many historical monuments, UNESCO World Heritage Sites, which by the way can be found not only in the capital Budapest, but throughout the whole country of Hungary, the Danube with all its cultural offerings such as small bars, boat trips and walks by the river, or the Margaret Island. Budapest also offers a wide range of bars and clubs. Moreover, there are great music festivals out there, the Szeged Summer Festival being particularly well known. And if you like eating out, you will also get along well in Budapest. There are many renowned top-level restaurants, as well as a wide variety of local restaurants that offer everything from traditional Hungarian dishes up to culinary specialities from all over the world. Apparently, portions are always generous at an affordable price. The most important Hungarian specialities are goulash, lecsó, langos and kürtös kolács, but also hortobágy palacsinta or doboz cake. Beer and wine are the most popular alcoholic beverages. Hungary is ideal for winemaking. Since there are 6 different wine regions, Hungary can be divided into. Throughout history, Hungarian wine was exported all over Europe, from Napoleon to the King of Sweden, Gustav III, all the way to the Russian Tsar Peter the Great. All these upsides contribute to the high quality of life, especially in the capital Budapest. Even though Hungary does not perform too well in various quality of life comparisons, expats quickly feel at home in Budapest as this city is globalized due to the fact that Budapest is Hungary's economic and cultural center. Expats say that they can settle in very quickly in Budapest and that they feel comfortable after a short period of time. What does it cost to live in Hungary? If you live off $3,000 a month in Denver, Colorado, you'll need about $1,450 for the same quality of life in Budapest. This means that the cost of living in Budapest is more than 51% lower than the cost of living in Denver. Therefore, the lower costs can also be interpreted as an upside. However, there are also some drawbacks when it comes to moving to Hungary. First comes the Hungarian language, which is really hard to learn. Furthermore, people report that in the rural areas, infrastructure is not as good as in the cities. Also, some complain about the high housing prices at the Lake Balaton and also in Budapest, especially in relation to the Hungarian average salaries. Corruption and high bureaucracy seem to be areas where there is room for improvement. Let us continue with interviewing Luzi. When did you move to Hungary and which city did you move to?
I moved here to Budapest in 2017, and since then I've just lived in the city. I'm here right now in front of the parliament, one of the most beautiful of Europe.
What do you enjoy most about your life in Hungary?
What I really like about life, about living here in Hungary is the safety I feel. So walking on the street, like I'm holding on my phone, I'm not scared that somebody's gonna pass right and stealing it from me. I feel safe, I would say. Of course, as anywhere in the world there are good people, there are bad people, but overall I feel very safe on the streets here. And I come from Rio de Janeiro, it's a big city, and I think Budapest has the perfect size of a big city. Now we are about 2 million people here, a little bit less. So I have this feeling that I see different people every day. You have a lot of beautiful buildings, I hope you can see. And also you have the nature, so here is the Danube. But it's still not a small city. Still see a lot of this traffic jam, noise, but it's not that much as I had, for example, there in Rio de Janeiro.
What do you miss most about your life in Brazil?
Yeah, I miss some things about Brazil. First of all, I miss my friends and my family. I'm very much of a people's person, so I miss those who are not close to me now. And some of the Brazilian food, especially now in the summer, I used to drink a lot of coconut water and iced tea, but not just the tea, it's mate. It's a little bit different from the Argentinian mate. In Rio de Janeiro, I drink that a lot with some drops of lemon, and I miss that a lot here. We can find some in some drugstores or some places, some natural food places, but it's not the same as I used to have every afternoon after work with pão de queijo. It's like a cheese bread. This you can find here and in other places, but I really miss the coconut water and the mate. And of course, my friends.
Are you learning Hungarian, and if so, how is it going?
I learned Hungarian. Now I could say I am fluent in Hungarian, but of course it's still a lot to learn. I've been here just for 4 years, and I never went to formal school to have a complete course. I just had a beginner's course, and I also learned a little bit with Duolingo, but mainly I'm a missionary, so I had activities at the church with people who do not speak Portuguese, English, or Spanish, so I really needed to learn Hungarian. But yeah, it's still a very, very difficult language, but it's possible to learn.
What advice would you give people who are interested in moving to Hungary?
First of all, get all the information you need before moving, about the documents you need, about the benefits you have, about the things you have to pay or where you have to go, because here sometimes it's a bit complicated moving around to these places where they have to give you information. There are so much paper, so much bureaucracy that people may feel lost and discouraged when you have to find out what to do next. And also, I advise you not to expect everybody everywhere is speaking English. If you are outside touristic areas, people tend not to speak English, and sometimes it may sound like they are unfriendly, but now I really understand if they do not speak perfectly, if you are not fluent, they will feel like, I wouldn't say judged, but like forced to do something that they do not do well. So the first reaction would be like, oh no, I have to speak English. So yeah, if you do not speak English and you have to go to some place where it's not a tourist area, get some Hungarian friend with you, because then you are going to have a better experience. But overall, Hungarians but they are really willing to help. If you wanted to learn the language, when you say, oh, I speak just a little, when you go slow, they really help you. They complete your sentences. And if you mispronounce something and they laugh, they will immediately apologize and say, oh, I know you are learning, I know it's hard, and thanks for learning. And they are overall very, very friendly. I have very good experience with people on the street offering me their phones, going a little further to show me where I should go. But yeah, so I really like life here in Hungary and Budapest. They have some charming trams. This one is just a common one that we have now. But for Christmas, it's totally different. It's like a light, they call it like the light tram. And also they have some trolleys with this special Christmas light. So I hope, if you are coming to Hungary, I hope you also enjoy life here, either as a tourist or as a foreigner. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you, Luzi, for taking time to join this interview. Please make sure to check out her YouTube channel, linked in the video description below, for more informative videos about Luzi's life in Hungary. If you are interested in moving to Hungary, you will for sure enjoy her channel. But what needs to be done in order to move to Hungary? Hungary is part of the Schengen area, which means that it is very easy for citizens of countries that are part of the European Union to move to Hungary. Most North and South American countries, including some more countries of Asia, are able to visit Hungary visa-free for up to 90 days. This is great since it allows you to explore Hungary on your own before deciding to move there. Hungary also offers work visas as well as a visa for medical purposes, visa for cultural, sports, film crew or religious purposes, as well as visas for family reunification or study. Since these regulations change on a regular basis, and since which visa fits you best strongly depends on your personal circumstances, please take a look at the website linked in the video description below for more information about the Hungarian visa types.